the first questions that I ask people, I call this the two most important questions. When we start talking about your website, I'm going to say website, but we're really talking about your whole business. It's true for your entire business and your whole marketing plan. And the first question is, what are your goals for your website? What do you want it to do?
Just a little taster of what is coming up on the show. But first, please do like this video and subscribe to the channel. And also tell your friends and family about this podcast. Please let us know in the comments if you would like to hear any particular topic in relation to sleep or health. Then I will create a show especially for you, just for asking the question. So let's get on with the show. Great. So welcome everybody back to the Empowering Family Health podcast. I am super excited for my next guest on the show today. His name is CJ Gilbert. And before I bring CJ in, let me introduce him and read you out some of his amazing bio. So CJ Gilbert is a speaker, an author, and he has been a website developer for over 25 years. He teaches business owners, entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, and authors how to think of their website like their number one business tool so that they can make more money and serve their clients better, faster, and easier. And CJ has worked with hundreds of entrepreneurs and business owners in the San Diego area and beyond with their websites and their marketing needs. And he is constantly studying, like myself, and learning all about social media, businesses, its operations, sales, and marketing. CJ empowers entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, and authors to spread their unique message and gifts, and thereby collectively help millions. So CJ is going to be here to talk to us today all about how you can make your website do more for your business. And he's going to also share 5 keys to unlock the profit hidden in your website. CJ, you're very welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure for me to be here on your program, Joanne. Thank you so much for having me today.
I'm really excited because we've tried a couple of times, CJ, and we've had to cancel, but we're here now today. So I'm absolutely super excited, and we're going to dive in. And you know what? I love this topic, CJ, because it's very relevant. I'm an entrepreneur myself, and you know, everybody needs a website. It's the one thing that we own, if you like. And you know, all our content is in there, and it's really important how we come across on our websites to make our business more profitable, but also to help our clients, because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It's helping other people and make the world a better place. So before we dive in, CJ, I'm really curious, what got you into all of this and why are you so passionate about it?
Great question. You know, I love this topic. I get really excited about it, and I get really, you know, you might have to tone me down a little bit because I get really excited about how websites can help people. And I want to begin by saying this is my number one message for the world. And it's what you just said. Your website is the only thing you can fully own and control on the internet. Yeah. And isn't it true that every other platform out there is telling you to come to their platform and essentially build up their website? And this is tricky because there's value there, because if we have prospective clients there, if we have people that we can reach there with our message, then we should be on that platform, and we should be using their platform to connect with new people and share our messages. So there's truth there, but we also want to remember that we can't own that platform. And if something changes tomorrow, you know, the world, the business world, the internet world, it's a shifting landscape, and you don't know tomorrow what companies are going to merge or be acquired or sell or change something. So it's a balancing act. We do want to use those tools so that we can reach more people, but we also want to remember that your website is the only thing you can fully own and control. So I say use your website as that original kind of publishing platform, and then go out to all the other places to connect with more people and bring them back.
Yeah, that's great because it's like, what I heard and all that is you are your own authority over this.
Yes.
So you own everything that's in there, all your content, and whatever way you want to display it, you have your own rules and whatever works for you and your customers, rather than one size fits all and all the other type of platforms or whatever.
Hmm.
Do you know
Hmm.
something, CJ? There's one thing. I was a bit of a geek myself back in the day, right? So I really get the whole geeky thing. And can I call you a geek?
Absolutely.
So I think it's something really fun about that. And I love your energy. We're always wanting to learn and keep up to date, because it is, as you said, it's always changing, and you
Hmm.
do really need to keep up to date. But there's just two things, CJ. Can you clarify for our listeners, because everybody does need a website, and and there's various. I looked through loads of your videos, and my God, you've some amount of content. But there's various different types of websites. But can you make it easy for people and tell people what is the minimum, that people would need to have in a website to make it really doable, and just to get out there and have that online presence?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm a big believer in whatever you can do today, do it. I don't want to give you some sort of a big, I don't want you in your mind to think of some big thing we have to create, some big obstacle you've got to do first before you can get it out there, because that gets in the way of people
Mm.
making that forward progress. I would rather you start today with something very small, get it out there and working for you, and then know that you can build up and grow over time. So I'll make a couple key distinctions here. People ask me about some of the free website tools that are out there, like Wix and Weebly and Squarespace. And, there's a whole variety of these different platforms. And they say, CJ, should I, could I, would I use those? And I say, if that's what you've got today, and that's what you can use today to put something out there and get it going, then do that. Absolutely do that. But I also want to caution people, because people don't understand that there's different kinds of websites. And real quick, I'll say, the reason people don't understand this is because they probably get into business. I've talked to a lot of entrepreneurs, and they kind of get into business like I did. They have a skill or an expertise in some area, like fixing cars or baking cupcakes. And so they open up their shop to fix cars and bake cupcakes. And it's not but a couple days, weeks, months down the road that you realize what you've done, what you've created. It's so much bigger than fixing cars and baking cupcakes, because you've got this business, and you've got to think about marketing and websites and email marketing and social media and all these things that are so far removed from, I know how to fix cars, I know how to bake cupcakes. And so here I am, I'm your web geek. I also call myself the web safari guide, because the internet's a jungle. It's so easy to get lost or end up someplace you did not mean to go. And so I want to make it fun. I tell people that I speak geek and normal human, and I translate between the two. So I'm happy to answer as many of these questions as possible. And now going back to, there's different kinds of websites. So the platforms that I just mentioned, where you can get yourself started with a free website, you can even do that through Google, offers a free web page through their platform. And I say do it. If that's what you can get up and go in today, do it. It's better than nothing, and it's better to get something out there working for you. But I also want to just mention that when I build a website for someone, they come to me and my company to build them a website. I'm building them a custom website that they can fully own and control. And what I mean by that is, I'm available if they want to have me do their website hosting and do their website maintenance. And by all means, I'll work for them as long as they'd like me to. But if they ever want to essentially take that website, pack it up, and move it to a different host, they can, because that's the kind of website I'm creating. Some of these platforms, when you sign up for their site, it's a proprietary system. In other words, their site only works on their site. It'll only ever be on their site. And if you want to change, or they go out of business or something, you really do, I don't want to say you have to start over, but you really are creating something new on a different platform, on a different
Makes it more
service.
difficult, definitely.
Right.
And I've seen that happen so many times. And this thing with passwords, for the hosting and what have you. And I've seen so many people, and I'm a firm believer in working with someone who's very reputable, because I've heard of so many website designers going off with the passwords and then the poor person is left not having access. They might go out of business or whatever. So one thing I always say to people is make sure you get the passwords so that you can, at least you'd have access, because that's one thing that a lot of people fall down. Can you distinguish hosting and domain name? Because they're two areas that people are often very confused about, just for people starting off in the whole website area.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I refer to this little question right here as the 3 pieces of a confusing puzzle. And I have a video titled that also on my YouTube channel, because this is super confusing. But here's how it breaks down. You've got your domain name, you've got your website hosting, and you've got your email service. And it is possible that all 3 of those things could be through the same company and the same dashboard. But it's also possible that those 3 services could be with 3 different companies and they're all just kind of linked together. So it begins with your domain name. That's the .com that you're registering, like GilbertStudios.com is my website design website. I have a couple other websites too. I have one for my podcast, askawebgeek.com. So that's your domain name. You buy it, but what you really do is you lease it on a yearly basis, and different companies charge different amounts. I charge about $20 per year per domain name. That's pretty average. And you do need to make sure that you're renewing that every year. That's where it begins. That's your address. And then that is going to point or be connected to your website host. Your host is where your website actually lives on the internet. So I tell people you can kind of think of this as like the apartment that you're renting for your website to live in. And again, it's another rental situation, but if you have the right kind of website, you're not beholden to any one host. You can pack up your website, move it from host to host if you needed to, if you wanted to. And that domain name could still stay registered with whatever company you registered with, and you can change where it's pointed to the hosting. So again, it's confusing, right? Because there's these pieces, they are separate, but they're connected together.
Well, you explained it really well. So if I can recap and just tell me if I got this right. So the domain name is it's the address that you lease and you
Correct.
pay for every year. So it's like your .com or your .ie or whatever the name of the company. So .com, let's keep it simple. Exactly. So that's literally the address that you lease. And then the hosting is you got to point that domain name to where your website lives. Mm-hmm. So it's going to live. So this is a space where all the files are saved or stored or whatever. So, okay, so that's the domain name and hosts. And so, because I think that's really an area, and you're right, it's a really an area where a lot of people get confused. And then the email service as well, which is really important as well. Mm-hmm. So, it's like CJ Gilbert at askawebgeek.com.
Yes, exactly.
Great. Okay, great. So CJ, tell us, how do people make their website do more for the business? What's the key areas that we need to look at?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me share a couple ideas with you. And the first thing that I want to share is the first questions that I ask people. I call this the 2 most important questions. When we start talking about your website, I'm going to say website, but we're really talking about your whole business. It's true for your entire business and your whole marketing plan. And the first question is, what are your goals for your website? What do you want it to do? What do you want it to do for you? What do you want it to do for your audience? And it's very common when I ask that question, I get blank stares. I get wide-eyed looks because they don't know. I don't know what my website's going to do for me or for my customers. And I say, that's okay. Let me tell you the other keys. Then you'll know, then you'll have some ideas of what you can do, then come back to this question and answer it, because then you'll know what you want to do with it. So if you don't have an answer for that yet, it's okay. But here's some common answers. I want to make more sales. I want to help my customers find resources or tools. I want to offer education. I want to improve my customer service. These are all very valuable and good things. It could be education. It could be entertainment. There's a lot of things you can do with your website, and we'll talk about some of those ideas today. Here's the second most important question. Who is my target market? Who are your people? Who's the website for? I have to remind business owners or tell them for the first time. Here's something else that's deceptive. People think that their website's all about them. It makes sense. It's my website. It should be all about me, right? Wrong. Your website is all about your customer. It's all about your client. And you need to position yourself as the guide, as the assistant to help them along their journey. So when they come to your website, they should really see themselves in your website, themselves being represented as the person being served through the website. And I often have this conversation with people from two different extremes. There's the one extreme over here that's like, I want to be all about me and list everything about me and all my credentials and all my, everything I've ever done and my education and all, yada, 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 yada.
I can get boring, actually, can't it?
Right? Yeah. There's truth there. There's truth in there. But if you go too far, it's off-putting because your client's coming to your website for how it can help them. Here's the other extreme, the person that says, oh, I don't want to put anything about me on the website. It's all about the people. I don't really want to talk about me or show my picture. And to that person, I have to say the same thing. I say, it's not about you. It's about your customer. And your customer wants to know who you are, what your credentials are, what your education is, so that they can feel like they're making a good, educated decision on who they're choosing to work with. So to this person, it's not about you.
Yeah.
And to this person, it's not about you. It's always about our customer.
There's a balance there. And what I can really hear as well, CJ, is at the end of the day, the customer wants to know that you're going to get them results.
Yes.
So they want to make sure that you are credible and that you are good enough. And so that would consist of testimonials as well, I suppose, and your credentials, who you've worked with in the past, what kind of results that you've gotten, that'd be testimonials, all that kind of thing. I can really hear, CJ, that there's a lot of thought that goes into, it's not just designing the website and making it look pretty, it's making it work as well. So there's a lot. So this is really, folks, this is really why it's so important not to just get any website, like even a template, like I see people buying templates, but when you hire a web designer, they obviously get to know you. I'm sure this is your case, CJ. You get to know the person, what it is that they can offer, so that you can best utilize and optimize the website to fulfill on their needs and what it is they want to achieve.
Absolutely. I love the way you phrase that. Yes, I really do feel like when I'm working with someone, I get to know them, and then I use their website to introduce them to their customer.
Brilliant. Is there any other key tips to unlocking the profit hidden in your website? Or
Absolutely. So that's really just the first key, is your goals and your target market. And by the way, once you've established who that person is that you serve, this helps you in all of your marketing, because now you know when you're writing to that person, whether it's on your website or your social media or your email, you know to whom you're speaking in all of your marketing.
You're talking
so these questions are super valuable for your entire business.
Wow.
The next key I want to give you is the beginning of what I call the 3 pillars of a successful website. And this is your search, your sales, and your service. And I'll touch on those briefly, each one. Those are keys 2, 3, and 4. So we'll start with your search. To my way of thinking, this is how someone possibly could find you, by going to a search engine, by going to Google or one of these places, and they're looking for you by name, they're looking for you by business name, they're looking for you maybe by industry or location. So they could go to Google and type CJ Gilbert if they know they want to find me. They could type GilbertStudios if they know they want to find my business. Or they may have never heard of me before, and then they go to the Google and they type web design or web design San Diego or web design La Mesa. And in one of my video series, which I'll talk about in a little bit, I go into a little bit more depth about each one of those searches and how they're different and how we want our people to find us no matter which of those they're typing in. This is all under the category of your search. And when we're talking about search, we also have to use the word keywords. And people ask me all the time, what are keywords? Keywords is whatever you type into Google. If you type in, where can I get a cup of tea and a scone, it's going to show you where you are and where you can go to get that near you. So people are like, well, how do I know what keywords to put into my website? And this used to be a really super tricky game. We'd calculate, what are the best keywords? And let's stuff them into your website every place we can. But we don't want to do that anymore. There's this phrase called keyword stuffing. And
Yes.
that sounds delicious, but it's not a side dish. It's something we want to avoid. It's when people take their keyword and they stuff it into every part of their website because they're trying to trick Google that they use their keyword more than anyone else.
And you can
that
get penalized, can't you, for doing that?
Yes, that used to work because that used to be the way that the search engines worked. They would just count the keywords, and if you had more than he or she did, you win. It doesn't work that way anymore because they're smarter and they realize that people were doing that. And so now they want you to really use your keywords in an organic, natural way. So here's my advice for people. Don't worry about your keywords. Just talk about your services in a natural way, just like you would tell someone about what you do. And then it's okay to go into detail. So give me your services and then go into detail about each one of those services, what they include, what are the benefits, who are the kind of people that use them the most. And you're naturally putting those keywords into your website automatically.
That's so refreshing, because I used to get so hung up on keywords and I just get a big block and I just couldn't move forward. But your keywords are in what your service is, that they're your keywords, as you say. So that is so refreshing and freeing to know that. Okay, what's next?
Okay, next tip for you is your sales. Now, this could be people's number one goal for their website. They want to make more sales. And if that's true for you, here's the magic phrase I want you to remember. People choose the familiar. People choose the familiar. So what we want is we want people to come to our website, spend a few seconds, minutes, hours on your website getting to know you. And the things that can help them with this are videos are phenomenal, photos, really good high quality photos, stories. The more of those that you can have, the more people are getting to know you. And while they're doing that, they're developing a familiar feeling for you right here. And what we know now, we used to think that people made a buying decision based entirely off of facts and reason and logic. And we know now that's not true at all. People make their buying decision based entirely off of how they feel about something, and then they justify it with the facts.
Yes,
so
and how they relate
website,
to people.
Yeah, absolutely. So on your website, let's do both. Of course, we want to give them the facts and the information, but we also want to let them get to know us so that when they're ready to make that buying decision, they're going to rely on that familiar feeling and they're going to choose to do business with us.
Oh my God. Wow. That's incredible. That's the 5 steps, is it? That's the 5, 2, 3, 4.
Almost.
One more?
Almost. I'll give you one more. Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Your customer service. Your website can actually be a tool that serves your clients even without you being physically present. So think about this. You or your receptionist or someone in your company is picking up the phone all day, every day, and answering the same questions over and over and over again. Yeah. Yes, we're open till 5. Yes, we're on this street and here are the directions. Yes, we accept credit cards. If you put that information on your website, you're doing a couple things. First of all, your customer can go directly there, get the information they need, they're saving time. Also, they're not going to pick up the phone and call you for that question as often. So if you had to pick up the phone and answer it 100 times, maybe you only have to answer it 10 times today. That saves you time. That saves your employees time. It actually will increase your efficiency because now you're working on something else instead of answering that same question over and over again. You're being more productive. So it's a win-win-win situation.
Oh, I love it. This is like the frequently asked questions, is it? Is that what you're...
I love frequently asked questions. Yes. It hits all 3 boxes because if you create a frequently asked questions page, you're giving information to customers they are looking for. I also encourage people, not only what are the questions people frequently asking you, but if they knew enough about what you did, what should they ask you about?
Yes.
A lot of times people don't even know enough about our service or product or industry to even know what questions they should ask.
Yes.
So if you include those questions as well, you're doing them a double favor. You're giving them a little education, and then you're answering the question that they didn't even know they had. And this is amazing for keywords because you could be talking about things on your FAQ page that don't fit naturally anywhere else on your website. And now you've hit all 3 boxes. It's customer service, it's sales, and it hits the search box too. Because if someone types in that very question, Google's going to say, hey, that question's answered right over here, and drop them right into your website, right on your frequently asked questions page. And that's how they get to know you.
So what are your goals? Number one, who is your target market? Really important. Oh my God, you need to know who you're speaking to. And then search, sales, and customer service.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, I love that. Yes, ma'am. We don't say that over here in Ireland. So it sounds cool when someone says that to me. It's brilliant. I feel like I'm in America. Brilliant. So CJ, tell us about, I want to talk about your podcast, and I want to talk about your videos. You've got a fantastic YouTube channel. Tell us something about that as well.
Absolutely. I want to offer you 2 resources right away you can jump into. The first one is a video workshop that I created. Like I mentioned, when I got into this business, I realized most people know they need a website and they have no idea what to do with it. And I started writing down some of my thoughts, and that's how I accidentally wrote my book, 5 Golden Keys to Sharpen Your Website.
Brilliant.
And that became my message, and that became this video series, which you can find at mywebsitesafari.com. Mywebsitesafari.com. This is a free series. There are 7 videos. Each video is less than 10 minutes. It's not technical. I don't use geek speak. We're going a little more in depth into all of those points we just talked about today about how to make your website work for you. So start there, and then come over to my YouTube channel and check out what we're doing there. It's called Ask a Web Geek. And I have full, essentially hour-long episodes of my podcast, Ask a Web Geek, that's available at my YouTube channel, but I'm also doing something new. I'm creating smaller videos based off of just one question and answer, because I want to feed that YouTube algorithm and I want to get some more attention into my YouTube channel. And this is how we're doing it. So come check out what we're doing. We got loads of questions and answers all ready for you. And please jump in, subscribe, watch all the videos, and then let me know what questions you have. I'd love to answer them.
Wow, CJ, that's so much that you're offering people. It really goes to show that you're very enthusiastic and you love what you do, and you've got so much information out there. And I have to say, so that's my website, safari.com. I'll put all these things into the show notes. So that's the free series, video series, 7 videos. Is that what you said? It's
correct.
In there? Bite-sized videos. Okay. And then on your YouTube channel, Ask a Web Geek. And that's your YouTube channel. And in there, and I've watched some of your videos, CJ, and I have to say, if I can give you some feedback, you've done them very strategically. It's not, and some of your longer videos, I get what you're saying about the algorithms, but your longer videos, they're very much, you can follow them because they're strategically, it's like there's an agenda. Do you know what I mean? It's not just 1 hour long of talking about stuff.
Yes.
It's all broken down. And what else did I want to say? Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to say that really stands out for me about you, CJ, is you're a fantastic, I know you're a speaker as well. You're a trained speaker, which comes across obviously. And that's what makes you very different. And it makes you stand out amongst other geeky people, if you like, and website designers. You're actually speaking about it, and you're able to educate and help people, because it really is an area that people are very ignorant about, and they don't want to know. They're afraid of being ripped off, all this sort of thing. Like I hear it all the time. So that's what I really admire about you. And I think that's what has you win at your game, I suppose, in what you're up to in life. So CJ, we're coming near the end. So CJ, I want to know from you, if you can leave us with, this is called Empowering Family Health. So this podcast is all about empowering people. And I'm an entrepreneur myself. I'm a mum, 11-year-old of an 11-year-old daughter. And so I'm working from home, and, life is busy, and, I really rely on my website and all the other things, the email campaigns and all this kind of thing as well. So if you can give one piece of empowering information to people to really help them see that it's not really, it is a jungle, but it doesn't have to be a jungle out there, right?
That's right.
So can you give us something to help people, ease them into going through this whole area, and just making it really simple? Because I hear you say that, keep it simple, because you want to motivate people into to really utilizing this, because this is the internet. age. And look, digital technology is everywhere and it's getting bigger and stronger and better and all the rest. So we all do need to have an online presence. So CJ, what can you leave people with to really have them maybe reach out to you and work with you, or even, you know, check out your videos? And yeah, what can you leave people with?
Absolutely. Great question. I'm gonna pull out a couple props to answer this question, because the internet is a jungle, and it really is easy to feel overwhelmed when you start thinking about your website, and then we start talking about hosting and domain names and email marketing, and you know, it can become very overwhelming. So I'm going to show you my elephant, and I'm going to tell you that the elephant reminds us to just take one bite at a time, right? That's the old adage. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so that's my encouragement for you, is just look for that one bite that you can take. Look for that one step that you can take. And now I'm going to show you my turtle, who reminds us that a slow step is still forward progress. So that's my encouragement for you today. Take one step forward. Look for a step you can take and take that one step forward. Everything counts. Everything adds up. And I don't want you to look at all of the things and then analysis paralysis. You look at all the things and you do nothing because you're overwhelmed and you just go get a pint. Well, get the pint later, but first take one step forward for your business today. And maybe it's your website. Maybe it's one of the other tools that are out there, like a scheduling tool is enormously helpful right now, because you can send someone a link like you do, like I do. They can get onto your calendar, and it kind of saves you that back and forth. Oh, Tuesday, Thursday, 8 o'clock,
Yes.
9 o'clock, right? I've got a video on that. Go check it out. Use these tools to help you, not to overwhelm you, but to help you. And that's my encouragement, one step at a time.
I love it, CJ. And you know what? I'm going to put all these links in the show notes down below. And I do encourage people to check out your YouTube channel and all your resources on your website as well, because, oh my God. And CJ, you really make it simple. Like you said, you have the geek language and the normal human language as well. And you really do. I get that. And that is so super important, because people don't want to feel like they're an idiot or whatever, like, you know, that this is people do need to understand this, to not have degrees and diplomas and all, but they really people need to take responsibility, I suppose, and own it, and have some kind of information, so they have some kind of authority over what it is that they want and need and all that kind of stuff. And CJ, yeah, I just want to really thank you for being here with me today and encouraging people to take small steps, one bite at a time. I love that analogy. And also what it reminded me of was our friend Hans Parrish always says this to me: KISS, KISS, keep it simple, stupid.
Yes.
So that's what that reminded me of as well. And I couldn't agree more, because we want to enjoy life. We want to enjoy our business. At the end of the day, this is all about helping other people. And, you know, it's who we are being in all of this, you know, whether it's business, life, whatever, because how we are in one area of our life is how we're being in all areas of our life. That's the way I look at it. So I love what you've left people with, and just take one small bite at a time and just keep moving forward, because that's the best direction to be moving in. So CJ, thank you so much for being with me today. I'm so delighted that I got a hold of you and we eventually got to record this interview. So I'm really super excited, and really hoping that people get a lot out of this, and encourage people again to look at your YouTube channel. It's full of information. It's fantastic, folks. It really is. So I'm subscribed to his channel. So CJ, I will leave it there. Have a fantastic day, and thank you for being with me.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure for me. Thank you so much, Joanne.
I do hope you are enjoying these conversations, and to help me continue pushing these videos and audio podcasts together, I do have an ask. I do need support to help me to keep bringing you knowledge and insights. There is a Patreon link, patreon.com/empowering family health, or you can make a donation via PayPal. All the links are in the description and the pinned comment. You can do a one-off, or you can do a monthly support. So I'd really appreciate that. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Take care.